Hello, everyone. Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner were supposed to come to Ukraine this month. So far, what have we got? April 21st, nothing. They're too busy making money off the war in Iran and visiting Russia. So far, they have visited Moscow at least 7 times, but not once have they come to Kyiv. And Zelensky basically told them, if this is too complicated for you, we can meet you outside of Ukraine. Although, personally, I think they should come to Ukraine because, again, I think it's just not sinking in with them what is going on there. They need to see this. They need to find themselves in the middle of an air raid. They need to hear the sirens. They need to hear the drones buzzing overhead. They need to hear the explosions. I don't think they are qualified to negotiate anything between Russia and Ukraine until they've had this experience. Unlikely. I'm not holding my breath. Orban pretends like he is still relevant. So he is saying that he received indication from Ukraine via Brussels that Kyiv was ready to restore deliveries of Russian oil to Hungary. Thus, he will stop blocking EU's 90 billion euro loan to Ukraine. It doesn't make any difference. Dude, you're out of the office on May 5th. This is not in your hands anymore. So, stop pretending like you matter anymore. People kicked you out, asshole. But, like a certain other world leader we all know, he just feels like he has to have the last word and pretend like somehow he's still in control of the situation by saying, well, once the oil deliveries are restored, we will no longer stand in the way of approving the loan. Russian ambassador in Germany got called to the principal's office because of Russia's recent threats against targets in Germany. And remember, I told you, this is where we need to seriously get rid of the double standard because Russia makes these threats on a weekly, if not daily basis. And instead of dismissing them, as some countries have done, no, treat them as valid and make a stink about it every single time. Make it big, just like Germany had done. And basically they have summoned the Russian ambassador, told him that this is not acceptable. And yes, Russia is not going to stop, but at least Germany is now on record having basically said we are not going to be intimidated. This comes right after an arrest in Russia of a German woman who was accused of being part of an alleged Ukrainian-backed plot to blow up a service facility. She was supposedly arrested with an explosive device in her backpack in the Caucasus city of Pyatigorsk. Now, the German ministry said that they're aware of this and they're investigating, but again, considering the information comes from Russia, we're back to the whole boy who cried wolf analogy. And sadly, the death toll from the deadly shooting in Kyiv has gone up to 7, as one of the wounded died in the hospital. Again, the investigation continues, and once again, right now, as U.S. FBI Director Kash Patel is in trouble but still seems to keep his job. I would like to remind you that the head of Ukrainian police forces resigned 2 days after the shooting because the police were shown running away from the site of the shooting instead of running toward it to apprehend the perpetrator. 2 days. Also, Europol hackathon traced 45 Ukrainian children who were forcibly removed to Russia. And I know tens of thousands supposedly have been taken, but you know what? It matters. Every one of them matters. If we can find where those 45 are and continue working to bring them home, it matters. And what I find interesting is that how it was done. I love the name hackathon, but basically they had 40 investigators from 18 countries who gathered in The Hague for 2 days and used every possible piece of publicly available information, open source intelligence, to locate these kids. I think it's a freaking amazing project. I love things like that. I love when resources from multiple countries, multiple backgrounds come together for a good cause and achieve results. And again, I understand that 45 compared to tens of thousands doesn't seem like much, but it still matters. Each one of those 45 is a child trapped, being brainwashed, being mistreated. It matters. At least 6 people were killed and 59 were injured in yet another round of deadly strikes by Russia. This is across Ukraine. 3 people were killed in Dnipropetrovsk region. 8 others were injured. And here's what I want to point out. So we were so in shock over that deadly shooting that resulted in the deaths of 7 people from within. However, Russia orchestrates that number of deaths almost every day against Ukrainian civilians. Proportion, folks. Meanwhile, one of the biggest Ukrainian operations being reported now across the sources, and that is a large Black Sea oil terminal strike by Ukraine in Russia's town of Tuapse. So that one is massive. There's numerous photographs and videos by eyewitnesses showing the fires. And once again, this is all about doing more with less, basically sending in the inexpensive drones and getting through as many of them as possible, making sure even if they get hit, pieces fall down on top of an oil distribution facility and inevitably cause fires. So this is hitting Russia where it hurts. All the while, the United States continues easing sanctions against Russia, which is not helping. Once again, folks, watch the actions. This is how you know who your true allies are. More to come.